Hi, my name's Leanne Coyer and I'm the Community Visitor Scheme Coordinator here at the Parramatta Salvation Army. The Community Visitor Scheme is a government-funded scheme to create links between those living in community and those living in aged care. A volunteer is matched with a resident and builds a relationship with that resident for residents that mostly have no visitors at all or very few visitors. At the moment, I've got 32 volunteers who visit across 5 aged care facilities and they visit 32 residents. The volunteers there are core people that do it, and there are people just from the local community of all different ages. Surprisingly, when I first started, I thought it would be older people doing it in retirement, but there are people of all ages that volunteer to visit. At a visit, it depends on the ability of the resident. Some of them aren't very mobile, so they would just sit and chat to them and have a cup of tea. Some of them might take them, if there's a cafe in the facility, walk them to the cafe or just take them for a walk around the grounds. But they could take in family photos, or some of them taking a dog if they're dog lovers, things like that. So yeah, it mostly is just going in for a chat. The federal government put an ad in the paper, which one of the core people from Parramatta saw 28 years ago, and Margaret Paul put a big proposal together to apply for it and got the funding for my position to be able to run the Community Visitor Scheme. It's a really important scheme to just show care to people in aged care facilities who feel quite isolated, but even also for us to show care to the volunteers that are involved in the Community Visitor Scheme. It's really important because we care for the residents and they feel really special that someone goes in and visits them on a one-to-one basis. But I like to show care for the volunteers as well, and appreciation to them for the time they give up to visit. I run training nights that give them a bit more information that would be useful to them in visiting in aged care. But we also have social events, so we go out for meals. I took them to the movies the other week to see a film that had someone in it with dementia that is relevant to them, and they just love catching up with people, and the relationship and the care they show for each other amongst the volunteers is really good as well. So I think every match is a good news story. One of the volunteers that we had from the core, Di McLaren, she actually visited for over 20 years, so that was pretty impressive. But a lot of the volunteers I've got at the moment have been visiting for 5-10 years, so they do visit for quite a substantial time. The other thing that's really good is that in some of the facilities, not all of them English is their first language, so I'm able to get volunteers that can speak their language, and that makes a real difference for them, having someone that can go in and talk to them in their native tongue. But yeah, I think the whole scheme is a really good scheme to have, that you get people from the community to go in and visit the aged care residents and make a difference to their lives. So if you're interested in becoming a community visitor, I'd love to hear from you. If you email the core office, they can pass on your details to me and I will contact you. I just get together with you, go through the do's and don'ts of visiting. You need to have a police check done, which is all very easy to do online, and flu vaccination you have to have done now as well. But I would love to hear from you if you're interested.
We can show the love of Jesus by caring for people with dignity, respect, and without discrimination. Even a small act of kindness can lead to a spark of hope. The Community Visitor Scheme is one of the ways we care for people here at Parramatta Salvos.